What is up, guys? It's Julian with the GVYC and the Shanghai Sharks. I'm bringing you the secrets to unlocking the Branded Magistus Dracotail deck. This is a deck that our team scoped out very early in testing for this format that we felt was extremely powerful. Although I will admit, as someone who's been playing Dracotail for months, I was struggling to adapt to this version. Here's a couple pieces of advice that helped me start seeing more success with the deck. This is actually the version, like I said, this is the version that Pack was able to get top 32 with at YCS Richmond with a couple small changes, and it's a deck I just piloted to a third place finish at the NRG Case Tournament in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. So I'm going to start this off with a few points about the list that I think are important, minor things. I'm going to then update you guys about some advice in side decking, and after that, I'm going to actually go through a one-card combo that I have saved in a DB replay. So first things first, right? I want to talk about some of the ratios here. In theory, right, you might want, you see we aren't playing too many Dracotail monsters. In theory, we might want some more of these guys, but in reality, because Spenta can bridge to your Dracotail cards, you actually are playing an okay amount here. And your odds to see one, which is usually more important, because that makes your combos way more potent, are still relatively high. Beyond that, I wanted to talk about the card count in the deck. 43 cards ends up being a good number. It's not so relevant as far as decreasing your odds of drawing a trap too much here or there, but it makes it so that you can comfortably play all the cards in your engine, and honestly, it makes it so that you can side deck way more effectively. Side deck's the other thing I want to get into here. This is something from Pack's list where he played Fenrir instead of a card like Dragon's Mind or Mistaken Arrest. Fenrir ends up being really important for a couple reasons. The first and most obvious is that it can out-dimensional fissure. Now, that's kind of not real, as in truth, a lot of the time, say you play against Mouse or something, if they combo and play Di-Fi, or rather, play Di-Fi and combo, the Fenrir is really not going to be enough to do it on its own. But it's the fact that Fenrir is a relevant going first card. It can help you against a card like K9 Zuno, which can often be a problem for you. It is an extra body, not just extra body, rather an extra monster in hand as well. So, for example, there's versions of the Spenta combo where you can bridge to Dracotail, but if you have, say, like Fenrir and one Dracotail and no other monsters, the Fenrir gets you a monster, and you can do a version of the Spenta combo that sets up a monster negate. You play for a little while longer, and the extra monster in hand that the Fenrir got ends up being a relevant body. Beyond that, here is Lancia with some respect for Malice, and Nibs in the main deck. These were choices that I made for our case tournament. I felt it would better fit for the our local meta, because I knew there would be some amount of Malice players, and I thought that a card like Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill was not going to be as relevant because I was not expecting to see too much Radiant Typhoon. Ended up being a similar amount of Mouse players and Radiant Typhoon players in the room that day, so it was probably a good call. And additionally, after Kamal won the YCS, I feel like Nibiru is really good in the main deck. Especially because in this version of the deck, or to a lesser extent in the Draco branded deck, they don't have to play Nibiru, but Nibiru will actually make their board much weaker, and Nibiru is secretly kind of like an extra Secretarian out. A lot of the time, they're going to try and make a Secretarian going first to extend their plays, make their board stronger, and you are going to have a really hard time breaking the board in the absence of an out to that Secretarian. Nibiru acts as one of those outs. So that's my thoughts about this list. I think it's really important that you basically play something like this right now. This has been leagues better than any other version I've tried, including versions that play less of these or less of these or whatever. This is my favorite version of the deck. As far as side decking goes, this was something that I want to say thank you to Jason Bai for, because he explained how this was going to work to me. One gripe I've had with Dracotail in the past is that it plays too many normal summons, and of course, although Spenta isn't necessarily a normal summon, it is still its best target is Zoroa, which is. But in this version of the deck, you actually are able to cut Zoroa going second. You still have Branded Fallen of the White Dragon as a good push, but you no longer need to play this card. You can side down as many as 3 traps in some matchups, going second as well. And these were all cards that, to me, seemed very essential. But I realized as I played more and more that they were actually not. So that's one of those things when I say it's a key to unlocking this deck. The deck doesn't seem that good until, you know, you're able to win game 1 because you combo, you go second, and all of a sudden your deck has close to 20 hand traps post board. You don't have the problem of too many normal summons. You don't have to even worry about these traps because, you know, in some matchups you're going to want to set a trap or leave one in case it goes to a grind game or whatever. But I wasn't siding out more than one trap, or I was leaving in Zoroa literally every game, which I think was a mistake. And so that's another huge, huge key piece to unlocking the power of this deck. Now, some of that stuff might be known to you, might not be known to you. As far as like levels of experience go, this is what I'm saying helped me go from being not very successful with this deck in testing and at locals to having some success in testing and at our big case tournament. I want to go into the 1-card combo here. So this is what you can do off 1 Spenta. There's tons of things you can do off 1 Spenta. This card is almost like Habakiri, right? It can do so many powerful things basically on its own. But I wanted to show a version not unlike the combo I showed off a couple weeks ago with Tri-Brigade and Fractal. This is what you can do off 1 Spenta. Here it's going to start like this, right? All these hand traps. You often do need another monster for this combo to work, but here's what 1 Spenta can look like. Now, this is another thing, right? This is great into a board breaker deck, but of course you're going to have lots and lots of different guys in your opening hand. It's pretty rare you're going to see a hand that's like, you know, whatever, Ash Blossom, Bell, Valor, Spenta, right? So there's different ways of using this stuff when you draw even just a Fall on the White Dragon or 1 Dracotail monster or a Branded Fusion or something. But here's a cool combo you can do off 1 Spenta. So it's going to start by searching Zoroa. Zoroa's effect, if you're not familiar, has an ignition effect to equip from the extra deck. So you're going to equip Ninururu. When he becomes equipped, he can reborn or summon from hand a level 4 spellcaster. This includes Lucius, which can be really relevant. You're going to bring back Spenta here. Of course, that means synchroing for the Phoenix. Zoroa, the Magistus, can Flagrant Calamity. When this monster is special or synchro summon, you can equip again. You get to Artemis, which is not unlike Rhoda or something, has the ignition effect to search. You're going to search Crowley. Crowley's like Poplar, and when it's summoned, you can fuse for a Magistus or Invoked Fusion. So you search, you special. Here, you go for Invoke Magistus Omega. This monster is a really powerful interruption, but the effect we care about here is that when it's destroyed, we can summon any level 4 spellcaster from our deck and equip it back. That means Quem, Lucius. We don't play Quem in this version of the deck, but it could get you to Quem. Quem, Lucius, Cartesia sometimes, although there's obviously another really good way to summon a Cartesia from your deck, making a level 8 synchro, but beside the point. The effect of Zoroa is to destroy a Magistus card you control to reborn it out of the graveyard. So you summon this guy, pop it with the Zoroa, you bring him back. You summon Lucius, you attach the this guy. Now here, you actually use Spenta's graveyard effect to equip Artemis from the grave, and you can actually summon Magistus Shirozo, sending those guys away. Now you have yet another level 8 synchro, which is going to be Ecclesia. You get Cartesia. You searched a Dracotail earlier. Pretty important that it's 5 mana. You summon Arthalion, you get to Rahu away, the one you haven't used, in this case Lucius, and Urgula. You're not locked because you didn't summon Fall of the White Dragon from hand. Now you are going to set Ketu and Flame off of your Urgula and your Lucius. Ketu resolves, you get to Malulu. And here you're going to use 5 mana to get to Secretarion. Secretarion is going to let you bring back this Malulu and set Sting or Horn, whichever you prefer for the matchup. And I just mean, look, whatever spellcaster you put back is largely, I mean, it's not irrelevant, but it's not, completely like super duper important for the deck. You're going to get back this Ecclesia in the end phase, and your board is really, really formidable here. This is on top of the amount of non-engine you play, and this is honestly what you do off of, it's pretty rare that you do this, especially given the fact that when you draw a hand like that, why wouldn't you? And if it has Fualos or something, you might even want to just pass back. So it's pretty rare you're going to have a hand like this where it makes sense to try this 1-card Spencer combo. But again, if you know that you're going against something like, again, I brought it up in past videos just because it's not a hand trap deck, but a deck like Radiant Typhoon. Obviously this board isn't super strong into Radiant Typhoon, but the fact that you can go for so much off 1 card is just amazing. So obviously, guys, there's tons and tons of ways to really take advantage of Spenta in this deck, but I have found it to be, let me get that back up. I have found it to be incredibly important. And yeah, so please let me know if you guys want a little bit more content about this deck. This is the deck I've been preparing with. It will not be at the Rosemont Regional coming up, unfortunately, but I believe, GVYC and the Shanghai Sharks, we might take that thing down. So stay tuned, bro. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. There's a chance by the time this video goes up, we'll be at 1,000 subscribers. It's been a long time in the making. Let us know if you want more content like this, and peace.